Hello, Stephen Kelly here. I have a funny story to tell you. It's August 24th. Yesterday, Saturday morning, I get this message from this woman, and turns out she's in South Africa, and she sends me these photos of her riding a horse. And apparently, she was looking for a photographer, somebody that has my name, and she found me and she said, "Are you this photographer guy that took these photos for me?" I said, "No." And then I remembered there's this famous photographer, Stephen Kelly. Not quite as famous as me, but he's well known for taking gay photos, erotic crap, mostly black and white images of half naked men, something of this nature. I assume it was the same photographer. Anyway, looking through some of these photos that she had, and I noticed that she likes to wear these crazy boots and spurs. And if you don't know what a spur is, it's this thing that you wear on the heel of your boot that has spikes and very sharp, pointy things on it that's used to basically kick into the stomach of a horse to cause it pain, to make it do what you want it to do. And I had noticed that this film that she had actually focused on the injuries that she was causing to the side of this horse with her spurs. And I asked her, I said, "Hey, maybe you could stop using spurs." And she said, "I am a professional horse trainer. Horses are just a commodity. I don't care." This kind of thing. Well, I am a psychic. I can pick up on certain things, and one of the things I picked up on real quick was that this was a dominatrix. This is a woman that was into BDSM and likes to torture people and beat people and this sort of thing. But turns out it's even worse. So she tells me, I told her that I care about animals, sometimes more than I do about humans. And I felt bad for what she was doing to these horses. And then the truth came out. That she was a Luciferian. And that by drawing blood that she could summon Lucifer. Because Lucifer was in the blood, and Lucifer demanded this blood. Now, of course, I looked at her and I thought, what brought you to me? What do you think it was that caused you to come to me? Of course, she had no clue. And I asked her, I said, you should perhaps Google my name and see who you're talking to. And I sent her a photo. She had sent me all these photos of her with her slaves. She called them sluts. And she said she had a harem of sluts, and she lived on an estate in South Africa, and apparently she had all kinds of money, and that torturing animals and humans for Satan was what she did. It was her lifestyle. It wasn't a business. It was her life. Anyway, I sent her a photo of myself, the one where I'm dressed up in body armor and night vision and balaclava and with the Mark 21 HK 45 caliber pistol and the silencer on my laser. And she looked at that picture and she said, "Stop sending pictures from the internet." I go, "What?" I go, that's me. That's my product. That's my laser." She says, stop pretending, stop playing games, some bullshit like that. So I sent her a few more photos, me with various different guns and stuff like that. And she made a few comments. By this point, she was starting to get a little upset because I think she was starting to see where I was coming from. And I told her when she goes to bed at night that perhaps she should call upon Rambo, come to visit her. And I told other people about this woman, and they immediately thought the same thing. They thought, well, did you see her face? Maybe you need to go pay her a little visit. Well, anyway, I guess that is the point I'm trying to make here, is that the stupidity that some people have, and obviously a Luciferian is about as stupid as you can get, but you don't do your due diligence. You've got my fucking name there. You see my complete name, but you don't bother to Google it. You did a screen search or an image search, and you found that someone in Russia had ripped off my photo and was using it. And you assumed that I ripped off that photo from them. Wow, that's really retarded. But you dumb bitch, did you even look for a second to see who the hell you're talking to? You know, the very fact that you reached out to me, and I'm sitting here thinking, well, what is this all about? Why am I being brought to? Why are you being brought to my attention? Now I realize, oh, you're a Luciferian. You like to torture animals. I said, you like to call upon Lucifer, do you? You think he does your bidding? Well, you think you're powerful? Well, I'm powerful too, and I have a very long reach. So, you know, I don't think God having that person contact me was an accident. I think that's her time. It's her time to meet Rambo. So, what happens, happens. But I just want to use this example of this story to remind people that you are responsible for doing your due diligence. If you walk into a trap and you don't even bother to look where you're going or to see who you're talking to, then maybe that's your destiny. So this dominatrix woman that has all that attitude and thinks that she can torture animals and summon Lucifer, she's going to have a rude awakening. Now, when I see something like that, I think, what's it going to be? Broken legs, spinal disease, broken neck, perhaps incarceration. You know? The fate that these people receive, it's not up to me, but they do receive it. And I will sleep well at night. Anyway, so the lesson here, people, you are responsible for what happens to you. Take responsibility. Anyway, what happens, happens. And I don't have to be involved. And yet, I can still be involved. Kind of like the operation that we're doing with the Getty movement. It's happening. All right, people. Talk soon.